Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another live stream. Outrageous. That is right, my friends. Today we are doing another live stream, my traditional Monday live stream. I like a live stream on a Monday. And so, here we are. How are you? I am fantastic. I'm doing really well. Oh. Something just fell off my shelf. How sad. The best thing on YouTube, says Germs. And he is right. Absolutely the best thing on YouTube. We are fantastic. Well hydrated and fragrant. That's the story of my life. I hope you are all doing well. I hope you are all doing smell. That's not going to catch on. So how are we doing? It is Monday. It's been an eventful weekend. An eventful week. I think it was Friday that we learned Frederick Mulle was leaving Frederick Mulle. I think it was. It was Friday or Thursday. It was a pretty massive event. It was Thursday, actually. Because I had been out and I had no intention of streaming. And then we found out it was going to be Frederick Mulle was going to go. And he's going at the end of June. He's got a couple of months left. I wonder if he'll do something mental before he goes. Today I sent out some samples of Patou to some UK friends, including the deodorants. And hopefully they will be able to talk about it. They put off their podcast because apparently somebody had a hangover. So they're going to do it next Sunday instead. But hopefully they will have their Patou's before then. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. What do we have? Who's in the chat? Welcome, Dushan. Welcome, Juro. Welcome, Noah, Divine, Saab, A, Jiraja. Not welcome, Lily. Lily is always telling me what to do, says Germs. MJ is wearing Versace Lom. Welcome. Dushan is wearing Bellamy. Ryan Y says, robes on a rampage against the free bottle merchants. Love to see it. Absolutely. Hopefully the tide is turning on those people. Screenshots have been sent. Screenshots have been sent to me where people are picking up the free bottle merchants in their comment sections. You know? So that is good news. Hopefully it continues. Galen says, why would I watch a live stream when I'm not the guest of honor? There would be no live streams for you to watch if that was the case. You have nothing else to do, admit it. It's lunchtime and you have nothing better to do. I really like Violette Valenka. I'm thinking of getting a 15mm. Body Koros is becoming one of my all-time favourites, says Spaced Out. I still haven't worn it. I'll try and wear it this week. I will try and wear it this week. I'm also thinking of wearing Pavarotti this week, but the weather's poverty. And I like wearing it when it's proper spring weather, when it's like, it's nearly May, and it's been fucking like 3 and 4 Celsius out there at night. It's awful. It's awful. Divine says, Robes is an annoying cuck. I don't think he is. A lot of the basis of my fragrance. I got my bearings in fragrance online through Robes, you know, and a couple of other people, Canadians really. Christo, Eugene, Robes, Cascade Scents. Lots of people, to be fair. I'm missing out loads of people. Early Greek. Hello, Omar. Your scent of the day is French Lover after finally reducing my collection to 30 from 150. Wow. That's a lot of bottles to sell. As a large percentage. You've only got like, what? 20% of your collection left? Hello, Omar. Paris, Edinburgh today, says Juraja. Yes, it's... I think that's like an autumn scent, but it's been an autumn type of day. James is wearing Timbuktu. I like the name Violette Valinka, says Duchamp. Suits the fragrance. Fragrance is outrageous. It's absolutely beautiful. I think it was... It wasn't Rabbit. It was somebody else. Somebody sent me this little decant of Violette Valinka, and I can't remember now. I am sorry. But that colour that you see before you represents it really well. It's beautiful. It really is very, very nice. FI says, Rich, I need your help. What's wrong? Is somebody trapped down the mine? What brands on the market can replace Frederick Mulle? Ooh. What? Ooh. What brands can replace Frederick Mulle? That. Les Indemnidables. They're probably in the prime position to go into that kind of perfume lover's niche. And they're not as established. I would have to say it would be one of the lesser established houses, I would say, because you've got Serge Lutens, which existed before Frederick Mulle. Etat Libre d'Orange are too abstract. They're too weird. And they're too... Abstract might not be the right word. They're too conceptual. Diptyque aren't good enough. I would have to go with Les Indemnidables, if I'm being honest. Sorry if that's a boring answer. MDCI. I see somebody's mentioned MDCI. But they haven't really made anything new and brilliant for years. Do you know what I mean? So I would go with Les Indemnidables. Eugene's kind of like doing a similar thing to Frederick Mulle without the massive investment. James, you are now the best smelling man in your street, says Duchamp. Violette Valinka is so damn good, says James. I take French Lover as full. I'm not selling French Lover. Richard Chanel Paris Biarritz worth picking up for the summer, says Ryan. Yes. Evening, everyone, says Stuart. I take it you've smelled it and you like it, though. Robes is good, says Ryan. Moody Monday, friends, says Pradeep, who is still in grief. He's still in shock from the Frederick Mulle announcement. Cascade Sensor is one of the rare few that I cannot stand at all for some reason, says Spaced Out. I'm not sure about his latest kind of content, like the I think he's doing that because it cuts through the algorithm, like the algorithm likes it, but his older stuff was really good. I just like older Fragcom more anyway. Divine says, Robes talks about things he has no understanding for. He broadly slams popular brands under the same banner, which is blatantly misleading. To be fair, Robes, I think Robes' issue is with the fact that they are they give out free bottles, and everybody markets them as being fucking brilliant when they're not. You know, it's I think that's his issue, because he does like popular brands. If you go back and watch his old videos, like his old top 100, which is a long video. If you go back and watch that, then you'll see how many designers are in there, and they were all popular. It's the changing to these Middle Eastern brands, and the marketing tactics. It puts them at an immediate disadvantage, which is, to me, completely fair, because you have to take these things in the round. You have to take them as a whole. And he does know about them because he bought the fragrances. Like you bought the fragrances. Drakdok and Robes are part of the reason I got into fragrances, Ryan. Yeah, Drakdok was really good as well. Spaced Out says, haha, Robes shat on Initio. And he's 100% right. It's absolute amber wood junk. Yeah, I tend to agree. Like, I'm not a massive fan. Proddy was wearing vintage Antaeus. That's interesting. Zamboman, welcome. Hello from Los Angeles. Hello. Excuse me. The first time I've caught a Rich Mitch live, I think. Scent of the Day is Grey Flannel by Jeffrey Bean. Hi. Have I smelled Grey Flannel? Yes, but I don't own it. And it's been a while. It will be harder for me to answer what brand can't replace Frederick Mulle. It might be just Serge Luton, says Divine. Ninoslav. Ugliesa. Forgive us if that's not how you pronounce your name. I'm having a niche break. I thought you said you were having a nice break there. I'm having a nice break. I'm having a niche break. So I'm wearing Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male Le Beau Paradise Garden. How is it? I can't just wear all niche all the time, or all designer all the time, or all like anything all the time. Now that I've got my collection, I've got to roam free amongst it. Like, I feel you. Absolutely. Sorry, Ninoslav, if I have mispronounced your name. I try and get people's names right, or as right as I can. It's brands that I tend to torture their names. Oh, excuse me whilst I hydrate. Andy Tower, Liz Moores, could they replace Frederick Mulle? I think they would have by now if they were going to. They just don't have big marketing budgets. Apparently Andy Tower's putting something new out. Like, it was Luca Turin who did the marketing for Andy Tower, wasn't it? Oh. Cannot see Queerdonge in the US and UK Hermes site. I hope they don't discontinue that one. I don't see a Peace Marine in the US site as well. I don't care for a Peace Marine. I think it's a shit version of Eau de Hermes. Scent of the day is Vintage Opium, says Stuart. Awesome. The missus does not agree. It's massive. Parfum d'Empire deserves the attention Frederick Mulle gets. Yes. Parfum d'Empire definitely could replace Frederick Mulle if it got the attention, which it doesn't. I mean, how much attention was Frederick Mulle getting before Estee Lauder took over? You know, Frederick Mulle wasn't big on YouTube before Estee Lauder got a hold of them. It wasn't big on Instagram. I don't think Instagram was big around that time. You know? Andy Tower got rid of the tin can and I am wounded, says Pradeep. Yes. That's sad. Marc-Antoine Barrois, if you can have more width, I think they've got a brand aesthetic now. They've got a brand aesthetic that works. They've released a couple of massive perfumes. There's one of them, Ganymede just walks out the door apparently. Just people come into the shop purely for that perfume, buy it and walk out. So there you go, you know. I have Paddock on my jacket sleeve. It is tenacious, says Galen. Yes. Paddock is on my t-shirt. Or was on my t-shirt. And yes, it is tenacious. A little bit of smokiness on the t-shirt. A little bit of smokiness. Eugene will be the best creative director in 10 years, says Dushan. You don't have to be rich to be my girl. Prince would wear something like Violette Valenka. Pradeep Barwar is too synthetic. Galen, what's the colour of the jacket? Is it leather? Welcome, I smell. I am well. How are you? Divine says, but we know the brands who give out free bottles, and newsflash. Marley, Initio, Kilian, Xerjoff are not anywhere near brands like Amouage, Roja, Fragrance du Bois. All the brands you mentioned aren't very good anymore. I mean, I only say anymore because Amouage used to be. The other ones are all a bit crap. You know? Kilian went for that kind of... Kilian probably made the most effort to be different, but then absolutely fucked it. Like, with some of the releases and the names of them. You can't take a house seriously after it calls a perfume. Kissing burns 6 calories a minute. Want to make out? You can't. It's over. It's not serious. About to start watching X-Men 97. Hope it makes me feel 14 against this supply and demand. Which is why I'm mind blown when we get a bunch of douchebags on the necks of brands like Initio when it's so obvious. If nobody is covering the product, where is this supposed... That makes no sense. If nobody is covering the product, where is this supposed PR product? I mean, Initio send out loads of free bottles. They always have. As do Parfum de Marly. They're known for it. As does Roger. As does Fragrance du Bois. I don't know what you're talking about. Kilian might not. I don't know. Xerjoff send out loads of stuff. Who will take over from Frederick Mulle? Any predictions? No idea. I've been thinking about it. I've got absolutely no idea. Another day, another quack, says Paroli. Indeed. The thumbnail is of 2 ducks I saw today outside a petrol garage. They were having a walk. I think I'm aware the House of Sillage Batman decant I have. Ain't bad, but not going to buy. Is that House of Sillage you're talking about? I Smell says, watched an old Drakdok video yesterday, actually. Tim Wilcox says, he is wearing Iris Nazarena. Welcome, Tim. I'm thinking of covering some classic stuff. Vintage Chanel, Girl On, etc. Yes, it's a good idea. Amouage does not deserve to be put among Parfum de Marly, Initio, etc. On the basis of the last 4 or 5 years, they do. They do. They've sent out a lot of free stuff. Maybe more than the other offenders in those lists, you know? Divine says, I am not addressing the scent quality. I'm talking about their PR presence in the content creator space, and Amouage has significantly more PR than PDM Initial. Yeah, I would agree with that, actually. I think that Amouage, were they late to the game, or did they just overdo it? Because I think Renaud Saman was brought in to increase the brand's presence and bottom line by releasing a shit ton of fucking perfumes that were more and more mass appealing, and prepare the brand for a sale. And that is apparently what's happening. Dura Rose called it, to be fair, and he was right. Because I think, is it L'Oreal? If L'Oreal buy them, they're finished, by the way. If you're a fan of Amouage, if L'Oreal buy them, they're dead. L'Oreal are known for their fucking toxic, poisonous presence in perfume. Hey guys, welcome, Carl Shaws. You know, wearing Le Fujus. I can't say that. Spaced Out says, I think Guerlain is far away from everyone else at number 1, even far better than Chanel and Hermes. Guerlain is multi-headed hydra. They are a story for themselves, truly. They certainly used to be. They certainly used to be. And it feels like over the last, especially the last 10 years, but it's been more like 15, they've completely yielded their position. Completely yielded their position. So they've released some really poor stuff in search of sales. Hi Rich, would Cuir de Russie or Cuir d'Orange be in your top 5 leathers? Me and Eugene did a stream about this. Nearly a year. I think it was over a year ago now. It was a long time ago. So if you want to see my top leathers, buy that. Buy it, watch it. Don't buy it, watch it. Veta Tonga has been missing from the Canadian website for a while now. Yeah, Hermes seems to be flirting with not producing their perfumes in large quantities anymore, or not producing their perfumes. They seem to be going through a bit of a spasm, like, you know. All right, Parfum d'Empire way more than Mal, says DJ. Only available in the big unit 200ml, I believe. Yes, what you should do is you should buy said 200ml, though I got this at a discounter. So don't do it if you can't get if you can't get a deal on it, don't buy it. Because it's a lot of money to spend on a perfume, but I love Vetiver Tonka. Vetiver Tonka, I can just throw it on, hurl it on, like Santal Messiah, to be fair. Eau de Narcissus Blue is a masterpiece, sadly discontinued, says Carl. Yes, but there's still a lot of stock floating around. You can find 100ml for under 100 USD on the discounter, says Paroli. I wish Parfum d'Empire had more overall impact. There's no signature synonymous stuff. Yes, that's something brands have got to do, isn't it? They've got to work on getting something out there like a Lamal, or an Aventus, or a Portrait of a Lady, or a Ganymede, you know. And I don't think that Parfum d'Empire has done that, you know. Oh, I love it and I hate it at the same time. You and I drank the poison from the same vine. Excuse me. I had to go and turn the radiator on. I've got an electric radiator because the heating's fucked at the minute, which isn't very fun in Britain. And of course, it's going to be the coldest night of the fucking year so far, probably. So I'm looking forward to that. It's Laura G. Welcome. How are you? Who said with a straight face Amel Wash doesn't send free bottles? That's comical. They do send freebies. I think they do. Like, I'm pretty sure they do. Like, I'm as sure as I can be without actually having received one myself. Amel Wash sponsors free trips to Oman for influencers like Demi. Well, that's another thing. Hospitality. Politicians take hospitality as well, and that shouldn't be allowed either. You know? Initio and Marley haven't been widespread PR in years, at least 5, but they were. And so was Zerjoff. The thing is, with Initio, Parfum de Marley, they have achieved what they set out to do. They sold the brand. They sold the brand for big money. Like, you need it. That's what the goal is for stuff. Zerjoff sends out full lines and stuff. Brian would be interested. It'd be interesting to ask Brian that, if Brian wants to answer, if he gets loads of stuff, you know. Roger seems to be changing anyway, says Ryan. I think he's been sold. I wonder if Baymax would attract PR. Absolutely he would. I've been telling Laura G to set up a Baymax Instagram account. Somebody said to us, I think it was Pradeep said to us, if Baymax had his own account, he would have 1 million subscribers in 6 months. Maybe some dreamies, some litter. Yes, maybe a catio. R&D, says Brian. Nose, no notes. Yeah, I think Roger's been sold. My brother's cat got a free bed, says Laura J. But now I have it in my house. I think Roger's been sold already. I think the bottom line for Roger, I think Roger wants out and has wanted out for a while and has. I think actually they've sold the brand. I'd be very surprised if they hadn't sold it to a Middle Eastern investor because he's huge over there. Amage died with the current director. Absolute moron, says FI. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way as well. To be fair, all the big brands give away loads of product, just not to the usual YouTubers we're talking about, says Gail. Yeah, don't like free stuff. Yeah, but who gives a shit if the bimbo lifestyle Instagrammer gets a free Killian? She's just marketing piece for Killian Hennessy to quote story. Absolutely. But I do care because people pay money for stuff that these people don't pay money for themselves when they tell you you should buy it. It's about standards. It's about accountability. It's about honesty and truth. I do realise I'm complaining about standards, accountability, honesty and truth in the fucking marketing space, right? I do realise that, but at the same time, it's a valid point, you know? It's the people spending like thousands and thousands, 5 figures, some people 6 figures on these fucking, on these like whole lines of perfume. So it's like Pokemon, got to catch them all, you know? And they're absolutely worthless because they don't get any enjoyment from them. They just want to accumulate them. They don't appreciate them. I've been sucked into that side of it myself. Not necessarily with like modern perfumes, but like, you know, you get like you buy like, I don't know, you buy a perfume like fucking, take one at random. You buy one like Iris Sandra by Naomi Goodsir, and you think, fuck no, that's amazing. I've got to have that. Like, I wonder, the rest of them must be great as well. So, but it's not true, you know? And the way that the bottles are marketed. The thing is as well, YouTube is a purely visual, it's not purely visual, that's obviously rubbish, because, I mean, I'm talking to you now, you know? But YouTube is like a major visual a major visual medium, as is Instagram. So the bottle makes almost all of the impact. And that's not what you're buying. Except when you are being marketed to, that's what they're selling. You know what I mean? They're selling you a bottle. They're not even selling you the juice. That's why people should always sample first. Don't blind buy. That's another thing. These fucking videos where people are like, it's blind buy worthy. That's outrageous. That is absolutely scandalous. And then having links to buy products in the fucking description. That's outrageous too. You don't see many blind buy worthy videos anymore. Certainly not that you... Any plans for another outdoor stream? Yes, when the weather's not as absolutely awful and my neighbour doesn't come out to talk and gets videoed without knowing about it. Probably says I'm a chronic blind buyer, Soma. Soma, to be fair. And I shouldn't. I mean, I bought that Reflex Amber and managed to get a refund out of Harrods, like, so that was a fucking close one. I blind bought Paddock and really enjoyed it. Sent out a bunch of decants today to people. I think I sent out about 14 mil, 15 mil, and then I've got some more to do later in the week. Hopefully Les Odorants will talk about it next week. Sent some to Claire. Sent some to... Who else did I send some to? I sent some to someone else as well, and I can't remember who. DJ, do you want some? I'm massively behind in the chat, so I'm going to have to catch up. Right. I'm not going to address any of these. I'm just going to read them out. Roger and PDM absolutely send out free bottles. They sent my mate a few after he asked them on Instagram. I bet they would send me free stuff. I have a few thousand followers. I might ask. Girl sent out free stuff now as well. Yeah, that's pretty upsetting. Probably pumping the brand to offload it to a L'Oreal. Yes, that's absolutely. Roger clearly does. We have proof of that. Apart from Damali sending free bottles, I've not seen a single influencer in Europe get a PR bottle. I know US folk got out there via contestants. Who was owned by L'Oreal? Amouage are being bought out by L'Oreal, which is an upsetting turn of events. Very upsetting, because they will shit all over that brand, as they do on every brand. They've shat all over much bigger brands than fucking Amouage, and they will eat Amouage and fucking shit them out. My mate got free bottles in the UK. Visionary Fragrances. L'Oreal listed on the Paris Stock Exchange. Anthony Hobson, I'm really great, thank you. Right, Georgie got those for free. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. He's barely relevant and runs a sample site. I'd be shocked if he didn't buy them. He got some free Rogers. He got free Rogers, he told me, but what about the Molly? Because I've not seen his videos, and I know he had a whole team when it came out, but he's UK based, and that was Harrods exclusive. But they could have sent him one because he's based in the UK, and it's a UK exclusive. We demand a new stream, says Paroli. Unfortunately, you have to look at the small indie brands for original ideas and perfume these days. All the quality old school brands like Wash, Frederick Mulle, Mugler, etc. have been swallowed up by a big corporation. Yes. I can DM and ask him. I guess he paid for that. Plus he owns some 200 mils too. Leather list. Thank you, Pradeep. Pradeep, do a top 10 leathers. Yes, Pradeep, just do more videos. Hi, Rich and chat. Welcome, Erin. You are wearing Paloma Picasso. Well, good for you. Good fragrance. Do you know, but he got some Rogers. I've seen some European people on Insta say they got some free free DMs because they have to wrote the bottle gifted in the post. I know EU Instagram folk, and I don't know a single person who got free out there and didn't collab with a local boutique. Otherwise, almost all of them bought one. I am most drained, says Laura J. She's been training today. Keep singing, please, says Christina. Best not. Best not to. I don't want to break your screen. I've no idea about you need a big hit, no Tubular Bells, no Virgin Atlantic. Exactly. We have Mike Oldfield to thank for Richard Branson. Shit. I like Beau de Jour, but I find it too sweet. Is the private blend version less sweet? I know you wore it last week. Is it less sweet? It's got patchouli and not amberwood. So that's a bonus, a boon. Friends, if you would like to like the stream, I would appreciate it greatly. It will be good for me. It will be good for you. It will be good for everyone. Rogers seem to be changing anyway. Send implies they still do, and we know they don't. We don't know that they don't, to be fair. We know that they have, and past behaviour is always an indication of future, of behaviour, present and future behaviour. So we know that they have done, and we know that they will do. That's some awful turbo folk, yes, says Dushan. Brian has not had a bottle of New Zerzhoff in at least 3 years. Maybe some Dreamy, some Litter, yes. No longer have the Roja logo on the side. Cat videos are booming. Pradeep wants Baymax. The bed, not the cat. Brian dishes and can take criticism as well. Yeah, probably cost-cutting, but the bottles don't look as good if you ask me, says Ryan. I would like to do Baymax social media, but it's time and effort, and I have no video skills. The day Hermes is sold will be the final sign of the end times. Yes. No's been trying to buy them since 2010, hasn't he? He shouldn't be allowed. It should be stopped that by the competition's watchdog. Fucking whoever runs that shit should just be like, no. Whoever runs that shit should be looking at these fucking things anyway and just saying, where's the plurality? There's no plurality in the market, you know? If you can't save these old brands, bring new brands. Make it like a much easier to bring new luxury brands into the market rather than just trying to keep the old ones propped up. You know? Where's the next Tom Ford? Where's the next YSL? Where's the next Mugler? Perfume-wise. It's Marc-Antoine Barrois. That's a success story, as much as I don't like his perfumes. You know? Richard, what would you call your own perfume brand? I have no idea. Parfum de Quack? Eau de Waddle? I'm not sure. Killian discontinue all their best fragrances. I want single malt. You find that a lot of brands do that. Viva la Duc Luchon. There's a shite. It's a Middle Eastern brand, not Italian. It feels that way. Yeah, it's definitely targeted towards the middle, especially more now. It's created by an Italian bloke, but the perfumes smell. They've got that kind of Middle Eastern. They're not traditional Italian perfume, right? They're not traditional French perfume. They are traditionally more Middle Eastern in makeup, in that they are more of a smell than they are a perfume. You know, I never forget. I think it was Thomas that made that comment to us years ago. It was about how perfumes like Dior Sauvage are much more like smells than they are perfumes. You know, they don't have a top, middle, and bottom anymore. They have a very, very small amount of transition in their makeup, if any at all. And then they just sit there like that until the end of the perfume. And that's what Xerjoffs do. It's what Parfum de Marly do. And they're Middle Eastern style perfumes. Definitely Xerjoff. I wonder which classic fragrance, when you smell it, reminds you of the earliest time in your childhood. Brute. And welcome to you, Nicole. 3,000. I went straight to Heaven Extreme, a single malt, but good news, Tonka. Imperial Tea is back, which I have never smelled. Divine, I could find Brian's channel when searching for nose fragrance. Evening Nick. Center that is Vincent Man of Iran. Iran. Ashton has completely gone, claims 10 clones better than OG, 10 affiliate links. Yeah, I think there's no. I don't think he's not even trying to hide it now. He's just. I think I would like to think. In my head, I have this narrative that Ashton's like, I'm going to make hay while the sun shines, make as much money as I possibly can for the kids and the house, and try and just get everything. And I've sussed the algorithm, and that's what I like to think. That's what's happening, and he hasn't just like. I'd like to think he's playing the game for his, because he's got, the thing is that he's not like, he hasn't fucked off to Dubai. Do you know what I mean? He's not living like what Divine said, like the bimbo Instagram fucking lifestyle. He's got kids and a wife and a job, and a mortgage and and he's got bills and stuff like that and responsibility. So I like to think that's what he's doing, because I do actually like Ashton. I think, not that he needs me blessing or anything like that. But none of them need me blessing, but not that I'm going to give them it. But I would give Ashton less of a hard time, simply because I think his motives are better. But at the same time, I cannot agree with anything like what he says in his videos. Laura G has a penguin in the chat. Hi. I went straight to Heaven Extreme as well. Can't find it anywhere on eBay. That is completely untrue, says Divine. Xerjoff, an Italian brand, and the easiest proof they specifically made a brand they want to enter the Middle Eastern market. Suspiro, yeah, but Suspiro's gone. Suspiro's dead. They finished it. It's not there anymore. Because Xerjoff, there's no point in having two brands. Xerjoff just conquered that market by itself. Because it's built towards the Middle Eastern perfumes. I'm a chronic blind buyer. I absolutely detest sampling websites and don't have access to boutiques where I live. Yeah, I do. Yeah. There are court documents to support this. The Divine Legend and Madable has potential, but the price per mil is crazy. Well, yes, but the perfumes they're out of sight better than anything else that's available widely now. They just are. I hope they don't put their prices up every year or all the time, because their prices are quite. But put it like this, and I love Les and Demodable, as you well know, but Eugene's 100 mils are made by the same perfumer with the same oils, by the same people. And his are 240 for 100 mil, whereas Les and Demodables are 225 for 50. That's statements of facts. That's nothing. I'm not offering opinion on that or fucking, but it's a lot of money for the 50 mils. But the perfumes are brilliant. I mean, if you remember the video I did with Antoine, Remy, Valerie, and Eugene, I very cheekily tried to encourage them to make 100 mils. And I wouldn't say I got short shrift. They weren't disrespectful, but they were like, no, probably not, to be honest. But I would love 100 mils off them. We all would. But they're doing 50 mils, so. I really need to catch up with the chat. I do apologise. If someone recommended you a blind buy worthy and it's multiple hundreds of dollars, they don't rate you, says Aaron. Yeah, they're not looking out for you. If somebody recommends you a blind buy fucking perfume and it's worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars, they are not looking out for you. They're looking out for someone else or themselves. So just at worst, at best, they're being reckless. It's easy. It's like the old saying goes: you never run out of other people's money. You know, easy to spend other people's money for them, which is kind of like another point with the influencer thing. Yeah, that outdoor stream was nice and relaxing. Well, there will be more coming. Don't worry. Over the next couple of months, it'll probably be. I mean, if the weather starts to improve in May or June, say if. I mean, there's no guarantee that it will at all. Then I'll go outside again. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Okay. I love a Brian Bass, says Ryan. Hey Rich, have you tried Eau de Patou from Jean Patou? No, but I have worn Ma Liberté today, which is fucking unbelievably good. Unbelievably good perfume. Dear me. MFK is beneath Hermes. Far beneath Hermes. Yeah, I'll take some, says DJ. Okay, I'll sort you some out, mate. Send me some Uber Greatness Neo, says Divine. If I would never own that shit. If I did, though, I would send you some. Paroli, you don't get scared. Why don't you test them? Do more outdoor live streams. Take us on a walk, Rich. Yeah, I get a gimbal and stuff like that. Paroli says 3 mil of Sergio shipped to Canada from Surrender at a chance of $60. What? At this point, I'll just blind buy the ball. The prices of sampling websites are just horrible. That is foul. Serial shitters, says Nick. Stevie Wonder, a champion in blind buying, says Dushan. I've also received fake samples from them on more than one occasion, says Paroli. I will only sample if the brand offers samples. Quite. Is Zerjoff shite? Yes. Correction, I did not receive fake samples from Serenity Chance, but from other sampling websites, says Paroli. Amouage fragrances are very weak nowadays anyway. They're not what they used to be. Yeah, but hey. Welcome, Eugene. Ryan says, I like a few Zerjoffs. Never smelled a Zerjoff that I didn't think was below average at best. Way behind in the chat, serious case of the Monday, says Bob. Maple Leaves are letting us down again, says Nick. Eugene, no, sorry. You go. Zerjoff drops more bangers than Frederick Mulle and Serge Luton have combined to drop in years. Zerjoff doesn't drop bangers, but Serge Luton and what's the other one? Frederick Mulle haven't dropped anything remotely up to par in years. That's absolutely true. Excuse me. That's right. Arbo sells them on their site 1 month every year. I think it was October. I want the Vanilla City exclusive. Does Zerjoff do a mint scent, says Nick? Don't know. Are you aware of any difference between modern and vintage Dior Dune? Yes, a bit, but not a lot. Yes, actually. The old ones that say Christian Dior on them are better. The ones that say just Dior are good, and they're interesting and they're different. It's like a fizzy fig, and I love it for the summer. But it's not as intricate. It's not as fine, you know. Alright, so I wonder which classic fragrance would you smell? Oh, sorry. Welcome, Nicole, Eugenio. The thing about Middle Eastern fragrances is that they're suited their climate, not ours. Mainstream. You've got to remember the culture it comes from as well. They're all like ouds and stuff like that. And ouds are very kind of like one strong note that kind of ebbs and flows and does all that kind of thing. It's more like a smell than it is a perfume. And the Western perfume is much more a combination of lots of different smells, opening, tumbling and falling and all that kind of thing. Whereas the Middle Eastern culture is just different. It's different. It's not better or worse. That's not what I'm saying. It's just different. You know? Imperial Tea was one of the few good perfumes from Killian, says Paul Buffemo, and welcome to you. Le Bleu Vintage Extra is glorious, but a bit of Volden away is even better, says Nick. Ashton chooses the easy way, and that's not good, says Dropout. Well, he's... the thing is, he used to sprinkle in a bit of, like... purist stuff. He doesn't wear... he said in some videos before that he doesn't wear clones. You know what I mean? It's not a passion project anymore. Which is what I thought Extra Gent Sense was going to be, you know? And it's not. So... Suspiro as an entity Suspiro as an entity was made a standalone. I think Momo no longer owns it. The Suspiro brand is very much alive and popping. Is it? I had no idea. A new cherry scent. How original. I need to sample Eugene's fragrances, says Ryan. I own T21, fresh white floral, mint and mild sweetness. Performance is quite flat, but blending is smooth. Have you tried Modern Voldenouille Parfum? 2 of the first fragrance reviewers I ever watched was Jeremy doing push-ups in New York City with a bottle of Aventus and Lex Ellis with Ted Lappert as pour on. You couldn't get 2 more different reviewers if you tried. It's a shame Lex Ellis doesn't do them anymore either. It's like characters like Lex and stuff like that. We don't have them anymore, do we? You can't say clones are good and make people buy them. It's like selling dirty drug to win for your family, says Dropout. Well, quite. Any others from Xerjoff worth sampling all year round, says Nick. Something on the fresh side. Try Uden. T21 isn't year round, in my opinion. Forget Xerjoff, says Dushan. I try to, but I struggle. But maybe 40 knots would work for a spring, fall, and maybe summer. Dropout says, sorry, Rich, but Ashton should not get a pass. He was good, not so much now. Quite. Maybe you're right. Maybe you are right. I'd say Naxos nowadays is quite light and can work almost year round. Oof! Really? Year round Naxos? It's massive, thick. It's one of them Carbonell ones, isn't it? Is it a Chris Maurice or a Carbonell? I can't remember. That's the one where Momo went to him and said, I'll take all these ones that you've got on your shelf. Yeah, when he started his brand, he went to the perfumer and said, what have you got there? And the perfumer had made his own versions of all these really famous, of all these really successful perfumes, and Momo bought them all and released them. Chris Maurice is Chris Carbonell. Oh. Yes, that's right. That's right. Oh, I will take a look, thanks. One day we will record a blind sampling with Rich Mitch and have it include Xerjoff, Roger, and other similar brands guaranteed. Rank their scents higher than the bullshit Frederick Mulle and Suzy Tons have dropped. I don't know, man. I don't know. I like to think I've got a better nose than that. I have to stick with Geranium Pormos. Yeah, pretty great. Anyone here a fan of Fève de la Suisse? No, I sold it. I got rid of it. Oh, it was shit. I thought Pure Tonka by... Pure Tonka by... What's it called? I thought Pure Tonka by Jerry Mugler was just the same, if not better. In fact, I liked it better because it was a bit heavier. It had that kind of patchouli base to unfuck the syrupy, diabetic nature of Fève de la Suisse. I just wanted rid of Fève de la Suisse, to be honest with you. If I'd held on to it, I would have made more money, but I was just like, get it as far away from us as humanly possible. Like, it was too much. That's the type of decision you make when it's about love and not about money. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I don't like you, get away from us. You get Big Magnolia and Mar Liberté? No, but I do get this. Maybe I do get a Big Magnolia. No, I get this smooth, creamy lavender, which is just a little bit roughed up by the nutmeg, and it's fucking glorious. And the sandalwood and lavender with a little bit of texture, a little bit of roughness from the nutmeg, just a little bit of grit. Whoa. What a perfume it is, by the way. I could wear that all the time. Easy. You dress it up, dress it down. Out you like. No, don't dress it down, you know. But, oh, it's gorgeous. I agree with Dushan on Derby if you want something darker with mint. Hello, Rich. Hello, Pat Lester. Podka that I sent Mitch is a nice green minty fragrance. Podka. That is, I really struggled with that, actually. Was it that one? The Isuzak? Really struggled with that one. Wow. Drewan Story. How are you? Armani Code Sport Athlete has a great mint note. Smells like mojito. How can you go wrong with that? I'll tell you what else has got a good mint note. I see Robes has joined as well. Welcome, Robes. Speaking of mint. High school classic. I did something I never did before. Back-to-back Parfum de Marley and Initio reviews. Parfum d'Alter is next. Oh, no. I do not like those parfums. They've popped up in my local department store. Those in Initio. I've smelled them. It's just amberwood. It's just, I cannot stand amberwoods. Like, I'm really... I took a shot at Ashton on that one. Well, there's a lot of people you could have took a shot on, and all of them, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, Dropout was saying before that Ashton doesn't deserve a free pass. He was good, but he's not anymore. I just remember the old Ashton, do you know what I mean? I just want to hang on to that. But he's definitely turned it into like a money making exercise now, and it has been for a while. I just don't watch. It's a shame. I'll have a look. Thanks. Oh, Armani Code Sport Athlete is fantastic. So hard to find these days. I do like one of these these outrageous little flankers that are absolutely like you would think when you're sitting here before you with like the Frederick Mulles and the Guerlains and the fucking like the fucking Les Indomptables and the Serge Lutons, and then every once in a while I'll whip out a Polo Sport. You know what I mean? Or a Pavarotti. You know, like. That have no earthly right to be here, but you just love them. And there's no accounting for that. It's like you say, it's love. It's love. You can't... It's like Divine with his love of Initio and Parfum de Marley scents and Rogers and like all of that. You can't... We can sit and argue about it till we're blue in the face, but the fact of the matter is that that's what you like. And if that's what you like and that's what you love, you can't be wrong. You know? But we can argue, we can bicker amongst ourselves. You know what I mean? It's half the fun. Hey, Bobby D, how did that Stella go down? You should have a Scotch whiskey chaser first. Oh, Bobby's been drinking Stella. He'd get his wife beater on. All right. Oh, the Guerlain is excellent in its modern formulation. It's £60. Cologne Imperial is one of the finest smelling fragrances you will ever smell, but it lasts for about 15 minutes. It's absolutely glorious. I'll tell you what it's like a bit. It's not like, it doesn't smell like this, but the purpose of it's like this. And this is Lavande by L'Occitane. The best 15 minutes you've had since you were 21. Fabulous. Absolutely gorgeous stuff. You can throw it over the top of anything as well. Not your mouth. Don't throw it over the top of your mouth. That was very silly. I am getting down that bottle, aren't I? Yes, I am. Absolutely. About 40 sprays a day. Well, not 40 sprays a day. I'd say I spray it about 7 or 8 times at a time, and then I'll reapply it about 3 times a day. So you're talking 30, yeah, maybe 30, 40 sprays a day. Love it. It's 50 quid, that, man. 60 quid now. 300 mils. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Like, you can't hate. Like, seriously, get you to a L'Occitane boutique and have a whiff. Derby does have mint in it, and it's fantastic. The current batches of Naxos are citrusy, lavender and honey. Not much tobacco there, I hear. Outrageous. Might you do me a favour? Go across the street, pick up a vintage Oban for me. Cheapy English lavender Atkinson's. Is it good? Pass. Haven't smelled it. Bob de Fuming. I told him I had no respect for the brand, so I didn't want it. Yes, the Izuzex, the green minty one. It wasn't that one, was it? It was another one. It was another one that offended us. I was absolutely mortified by it, and I can't remember what it was. With everything I hate, it was a metallic one. Was it Strelka? I can't remember. They're all here. I'm looking at them, but I don't want to move them because if one goes, they'll all go. I did something I never did before. Oh, no, I've read that. Sorry. Cosme Polo Sport rocks. Absolutely, it does. Fabulous perfume. Welcome, Science Bear. Love that Polo Sport. Polo Sport, a high school, a top fragrance. That was when you could get a flanker from a designer, right? And it just be brilliant. And it would smell like a perfume as well. It wasn't just like an amber wood with like fucking, I don't know, fucking lavender or an amber wood with fucking bergamot. It was like, or a fucking burger musks, which are shit. I mean, one burger, if you've smelled one, you've smelled them all. But that was a fucking top fragrance. American Pie, it is always nice to see you here, but why are you talking Pen 15? I know what that means. Loving the honest review, Robes. It's refreshing these days. It's been Robes has been reviewing since 2009. I always used to get confused because his channel started in 2009, but it was Robes 08, which was obviously a Kobe Bryant reference, but I didn't get that for years. So I was like, you started in 2009, but it says 2008. But, yes. And then the copyright shit happened, didn't it? Had to take down his videos and re-edit them and then upload them again. That was pain. Welcome, Adam Kovacs. How are you, the sense of me? I hope you are well. My face is extremely ducky. Rich, where's your bottle of Monogram? Don't have a bottle of Monogram because it's obscenely expensive and I won't pay it. But I do have a mini. And minis are very good for that sort of thing. Yeah, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. I wasn't a big basketball fan, but he was an evidently fantastic human being. You know? Roadster and Geranium Paul Monsieur have a great use of mint. Fucking Roadster is one of the great designers. I wore this the other day. Saturday. It's so good. It's another one of those fragrances, a bit like Pavarotti. It smells like happiness. You know, I know that's a stupid, cheesy thing to say, but to me, when I smell it, it just reminds us of like, it just smells like happiness. It smells happy. The bergamot and the mint at the top give this kind of juicy apple feel without it being like cliche apple. You know, money burner. That Eau Sauvage Parfum is beautiful. Yes, it is. Money burner. Eau Sauvage Parfum. I've got two different ones. This one has Elemi. This one has Myrrh. I used to like this one more than this one, but now I think I like this one more than this one. Fortunately, I don't have to choose, as I have copious amounts of both, which is silly, but there we are. You know? Bobby Cecilia needs the Hortus Sanitatis. I had a bottle of that. I had to let it go. I think I sold it in a Nick Nestros. And I was fucking happy to have it. Robes is asking us garbage. That he's not fucking about. Turns out my Tom Ford Lost Cherry was fake. Yeah, but fake Tom Fords. Fuck, that Sahara Noir was a blow. I mean, it's happened to the best of us. I mean, it's happened to you, Science Bear. It's happened to me. It's happened to loads of people. You know, it happened to Smurfy Girlie the other day. She bought a fake Chanel. I was talking to a news the other day. He's got some vintage Cristal, if anyone's interested, from the early 90s. I'm thinking of getting a bottle of that because it's fucking fabulous. Went bad and smells like spoiled milk on first whiff after spritzing on. Yikes. I don't give a shit about Marley, says Divine. Well, that makes two of us. We can agree on something. The Armani Code Sport Athlete was released for the London Olympics as a one-off, but it turned out to be fantastic. It goes for big money on eBay, says Ryan. I like to wear something playful sometimes to break up the series. So absolutely wear some shit that you've just like little guilty pleasure fragrances that you just think, yeah, these are really nice. You know, I like these. You know, just nice, easy. But the thing is, back in the day, with stuff like Polo Sport, right? You used to be, or Tumulte. Robes will remember Tumulte, right? Like, you used to be able to pick them up for next to nothing, and they were really good. They were better than like the stuff that gets sold for €300 a bottle now, and they were just throwaway, shitty, fucking like just crappy little 20 quid, 30 quid bottles of like nothing, and they were better than stuff that gets released now. We are being taken for a ride. I truly believe we're being absolutely ripped off, and I think it's a confluence of different things. I don't think it's necessarily just the brands ripping off. I think it's these. I think it's the EFRA things as well. Because they're banning very small amounts of natural ingredients, so you can use vanishingly small amounts of certain day ingredients now, and you've got to use these dermatologically inactive things like amber woods, which is, you can use amber woods in like concentrations up to 10%, which is massive in a fragrance, you know. Stick, I'm sure others can say they have 12 kids, 3 wives and a family, so I'm going to shell. Well, the motivation is a big thing for me. You know, the motivation's a big thing in anything to do with other human beings, isn't it? You know what I mean? Motivation's a major driver of human behavior. It's probably the main driver, or the only driver, surely, motivation. But I think that people get lost in the game. I mean, I hate to put it like that, but people get lost along the way. Do you know what I mean? People start doing and saying things because they've just been doing and saying it after a while. Dushan Adidas is so good. Hey, Nick Walker, what do you think of Eau de Guerlain? It's fabulous. Goes a link that bottle. Says, is that how far back I am? I can see we're all in rare form today, friends, says Horace. Had anyone tried Neroli Out Renoir from Guerlain? I've got it, I believe. Eugene sent it to me very kindly, but I can't remember where it is. That was the weird metallic shit one. Yes, it was, DJ. Bloody awful. We're doing a whole month of Guerlain on bass notes, and that's getting a lot of love. Now I'm curious. Like American Pie says, penis. I'm a fan of tea scents. That looks like really good. That one looks really good. What is up? Sense of Me. American Pie, you had your own channel. He did. Yes, Dushan had my own channel, but I know to stop spending every single penny I had on Perfect and running up credit cards. It was better that I ended the game. It's good advice for all of us. Sauvage Parfum is beautiful. Indeed it is. Incredible human being and my favourite athlete of all time. He had a different mentality than anyone else on the planet. Do you listen to Pavarotti, though? Yes. I used to listen to it much more than I do now. I don't listen to much music anymore. Don't like the Elamy one, says Nick. Polo sport brings back painful memories for me, says James. 8th grade dance, unexpected puberty erections and thin anchor blue khaki pants. Pain, yikes. It's like rubberized lemon. Scorpio full moon doing its work, says Horace. Yes, my 8th grade dance was painful as fuck, was too fat, so none of the girls would dance with me. Didn't go to those fucking things, me, like, just not my scene at all. I'm ultra paranoid of fakes. I inspect all my bottles that I buy, no matter where it comes from, says Paroli. DMS says, hello, friends. Welcome, DMS. Bruno Acampaura's Young Hearts is your scent of the day. What's your guilty pleasure, Rich? Probably Le Male L'Essence de Parfum. Not the type of fragrance I'm into. Completely left field, but I really like it. Like, I really like it. I don't feel any guilt about liking Polo Sport or Tommy Hilfiger. I just love them. But my guilty one that I shouldn't like, that I feel I shouldn't like, is Le Male L'Essence de Parfum. But again, that's been discontinued. He's 2 and 3 and 400 quid a bottle. Fuck off. I'm not paying that. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Anyone here enjoy Penhaligon? Some of them. Eugene got vintage Cristal from Anouge. Fabulous. I felt that, bro. My shitty everyday fragrance is Mizia. Moneyburner says, Rich enjoys dabbling in adultery. He's the man that husbands call to please their wives. And the bacon in her eggs, the man for whom she begs, and the face between her legs. Sartorials over. I'll be surprised if Rose and Lavender made it out of 2030. Yes, bye, my friends. We're being regulated out of existence. I'm not fat and geeky anymore. No, Timberland boots and Aqua di Gio. Hey, Mitch, thoughts on Aqua di Gio and Chanel Platinum Egoist? I hate Platinum Egoist. It's got that horrible fucking metallic thing. It's got that horrible metallic thing that I hate. Aqua di Gio is a classic, and it's a classic for good reason, and it's a brilliant perfume. And it always was. Been wearing William Penhaligon and Lord George. Hey, Rich, any thoughts on the guys who buy gym clothes from Instagram influencers? Don't do it. It's like buying worn, used underwear from your Instagram influencers. Don't do that either. Or farts in a jar. Don't do that. It's not an animal farm, Bobby. It's a paddock club. Paddock's nice. I do enjoy paddock. It's really nice, actually. But it's not. Do not buy that if you are expecting a horse to pop out of the bottle. Welcome, Fragrance Journey. I saw your little short today. Rosendo Mathieu's got a number 8. Welcome, Pep from the Sentinel. Pep with his fortnightly rotation yesterday, which I watched. Hello, Alicia. I've gone through 200ml of Sartorial in less than 2 years, says Nick. Yeah, Sartorial's fantastic as well. I've put a little dent in that. I wouldn't say I put a major dent in it, but I really like it. It's got that. It's got a... Do you know what it is? That's how you do a slightly starchy fragrance. You know? Like... Acne Studios has got that starchiness, but it's far too laundry detergent for me. It's not that, but Sartorial's got a little bit of that starch, but it's got the lavender and the beeswax as well. That was an intense sniff. It's the only way to sniff, Money Burner. It's like getting a good fuck off whiff. You've got to get in there, in with the smells. Rich, if you like Pavarotti and Bocelli, try to listen to Diana Damro. She's the best of a Queen of the Night. Oh, Maria Callas. Can you recommend anything similar to Girl on Derby? No, but I can send you, Stuart Mabe, a decan of mine if you want. Don't tell anyone, though. Sartorial has laundrette steam when I smell it. Yes. Have you ever smelled Savoy Steam? It's got the same steam note in there as well. It's amazing how it does that. How many kebabs can you eat in a sitting? Don't like kebabs. Butter and sartorial are great, says Nick. I would like to try Tralala by Penhaligans. Dear God, says Horace. Are shipping costs from Manouche to the UK reasonable? They're not great. But if we have our wits about us, the UK people, if we have our wits about us, we can all get a haul from Manouche and split the shipping pro rata. So when it comes time to get something from Manouche, if we all club together, it'll be okay. Paddock is lovely. That was an intense sniff. Sartorial is Duchefaux's barbershop. Yes, Acne Stewed is probably the most dogshit scent I've smelt in years. Yeah, it's crap. Can you recommend anything similar to Girl on Derby? I've done that. Sartorial as a laundrette steam thing. Serge Luton's I smelled sucks. But Spirit of Dubai Ajal was garbage. All Serge Luton sucks is Money Burner. I have a week off work. I can just make it through the rest of the day, says Horace. Anyone watching the NHL playoffs? No. Just a small 50ml decant would be fantastic, behave. Rich Mitch is the man of the people. Organise yourselves, you filthy UK sex machines. Quite. Absolutely. Organise yourselves whilst I go and dehydrate. I'll be back. I will be back. Divine, you're in charge. Don't kill anyone. Oh my God. I've returned. Divine's tyranny is over. Where is the little guy that goes in the door? There he is. It's fucking freezing in here. Let's see. Hopefully the chat hasn't got away from me. 6 people left. Not to worry. Ooh. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Let's have a look. What do we have? This is the last field trip I would want to act as a chaperone to. Feeling Agile performance is great, lasts on me all day. You've got the older ones though. That 2nd Gen, I haven't found samples for those. I already paid 160 for 9.3 mils. Woof! I wouldn't say all, but there's not a single Sergi Tons that does anything good, says Divine. Everything good. If it smells good, it sucks in performance. If it smells like trash, it performs. Surge is better than Frederick Mulle overhype. I prefer Surge as a house to Frederick Mulle, I must admit. A dehydrate, lol. This is the Surge off concentration camp now. Finna go Kanye West on the chances to find. He's finally getting his revenge. Feeling that Guild performance is great. Last all day on me. Pretty huge on me too. Abra Sultan's pretty good. That vintage Shergi was massive. You will wear Surge off and you will like it. This is the current version. We're looking to get 3 hours as time. Tutti fruity, not a fruity scent at all, says Divine. I'm scared it will smell like black currants and blackberry, says Nick. I like Enchanted Forest. That smells like black currant. More fresh, sweet minty with a clean white floral feel. Is it Xerjoff who covers some of their bottles with flock wallpaper? They do it with velvet. They've got velvet on their bottles. It's kind of weird. It's a bit similar to Aqua Celestia 40. I shall sample. I just bought Magic Flute on DVD recently. Such a charming and humble lady when interviewed. Agree, best queen of the night ever, says Nick. Magic Flute. Your man's got a magic flute. Your man plays the magic flute. Lol. Is flock wallpaper your definition of velvet, Tim? If so, yes. But they are actively changing those bottles and getting rid of the velvet as it peels off and it comes in contact with the scent. Oh no. What are these leaves everyone talking about? Is it the bow one? Right? Sounds like a big glass of hydration fluid. Be careful with the water, Mitch. Can't drink too much water. I'll be pissing all night, says Ryan. Been pissing all over the place from the water, says Nick. I love the water. How many litres of water do you drink a day, says Mikey? And how many times do you piss? Well, I am a big lad, and I have a fucking fat bladder, if you want to get into it. And I don't piss as much as you would think. How many litres of water do I drink? About 5. About 5. I used to drink closer to 8, and then I did piss a lot. But I drink about 5 now. I was told by the doctor that you want to just lay off the water a bit, son. So, Brian, how are you doing? I think Brian got mentioned earlier, didn't he? How is Brian? The worse the Leafs do, the angrier and less generous a news will be. All my Surge perform well, wouldn't want any more. But I'm not a performance bro, says James. Good evening, Ty Monson R6. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Please come in and talk to us and tell us how you are. Is this your first time? Too many people I know in this chat. Is this a surprise intervention? Aren't all interventions surprises? Rich, there is a 50ml Sahara Noir for €150 on Parfumo if you care. I do care. But do I want it? Is it sealed? Is it real? What's going on here? Anyone buy those €700 blacked out Surge stuff? Don't do that. Don't nobody do that. Fuck that. Do not reward that behaviour with money. Pardon me. Many beauties are relative. Only Mozart's music is absolute beauty. With the comments he read, 120 in a minute, he should drink more. I'm 6'2", 16 stone, but I can only handle about 2 litres a day at most, says Ryan. Really, I'm 6'2" and I think I'm about 17 and a half stone, but I'm not overly muscly. Like, if I lost that extra two stone, I'd be like normal looking ish. Difficult to shift that 2 stone though, because I actually don't eat too much. I don't eat anything like what I used to. I just can't. I think it's age that's put paid to that. And I imagine if I drank a lot less water, then obviously I wouldn't be as heavy, because a litre of water weighs 2.2 pounds. Because it's like a kilo, isn't it? It's the definition of a kilo is a litre of water. I know a friend who has it before they did it. Pretty much was an old line they took away and rebottled and jacked up the price. Yeah, rebottling is always a bad sign, isn't it? Because it means something is going to change, either the perfume inside or the price outside. As long as the intervention is for rich, says Horace. Oh. Robert, I've never seen him not behind on comments like this before. It's hard work, says Brian. It's tough stuff. A kidney stone would be the worst thing I can imagine. Woof. I'd ask them to cut it out, like. I wouldn't want to piss it out. Quick, how many grams in 1 ounce? 28.4. A kidney stone would be the worst thing I can imagine. Yep, first time here, though. I've been watching you for some time now. Well, welcome, and thank you for speaking out. I hope you are well. D. Mawson, do you ride an R6? I don't know what an R6 is. Tim Monson. Rich, we brought you here today because we are concerned you don't own enough perfumes. When I was selling my perfumes off regularly, people were like, whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on? Is everything okay at home? Have your parents been shouting at you? Like, are you being bullied? Is everything okay? What's going on? You know? Whoa. No, I used to play a lot of the game Rainbow Six Siege, says Tim Onson. No kidding around hard Monday at work. Yes, Mondays are a good time. I always stream on a Monday. I don't like Monday nights. Don't like Sunday nights, which is why Monday nights are less bad because the football's on. But to be honest, between the hours of 8 and 10, which is what time I stream of an evening, I really don't like it. I'm like I'm in an in-between place, you know? So the start of streaming and my time of streaming really came along and really tied the room together for us, you know? To coin a phrase. And we haven't seen any biggest hauls of all time recently. I did two. I did the biggest haul of all time, and then I did the biggest haul of all time again. Oh. You gotcha. I used to love that game. There was rumours that we're going to bring out Gears of War on the PlayStation. If that happened, I'd be fucking erect. FA Cup semi-final yesterday was mental stuff. Ten Hag's finished. Do you know what it is? It would have been better if they'd lost 1-0. It would have been better if they'd lost 1-0 in normal time. Absolutely devastating for him. Richie J and me had a bet at the beginning of the season between Eddie Howe and Eric Ten Hag leaving first. And I was like, you've got no idea. You've got no idea. I was like, Eddie Howe's not leaving. It's as simple as that. And I don't understand how we took that bet, but he's paying us out on Friday. He hasn't even been sacked yet. He hasn't even been sacked yet and said he'd pay us out on Friday. I was like, it was an exceptional bet, though, because it's been backwards and forwards a bit, but Ten Hag's fucking useless. And he bought that Hermes with the drawing of the bloke trying to get a horse to blow him, says Nick. You what? You what? Is that what paddock is? That's not what paddock is. Stop that. He's not trying to get the horse to deep throat him. What's your scent of the day, Mr. Rich? My scent of the day is Ma Liberté. Ma Liberté is a fantastic fragrance, and if you can find this for a decent price, I don't know, let's have a look. Let's have a look on the eBay. I've got a 200ml backup of this, and it's a Splash, which is good because those vintage sprayers are fucking awful. They are grinding poverty. They're absolutely fucking rough as fuck. See that big fucking fat bit? Can you see that fat bit right next to the collar? It pops out. I remember a news telling us about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Loads of them have got that bit, and the new sprayers don't have them. And the reformulated sprayers are better than vintage ones. Oh, I love it and I hate it at the same time. You and I drink the poison from the same vine. I don't have a Mizoni. Oh, maybe I do. Yes, I do. Sorry, I do. Have you smelled it? It's dark and fucking vetivery and rich. What do I want? Ah, Mar Liberté. Mar Liberté is off the charts. Yes, welcome, Andy. How are you? Jean Patou. There's a 200ml bottle in Greece for £160. I'm not telling you to go and buy it, but it's worth every single fucking penny. It's worth every single fucking penny. $200 is what they want. Absolutely. $200 for 200ml, so it's $1 a mil. $200 is nothing if you win bets like Rich does. That's right, Brian. If you're a shark like me. Oh, they're doing mini. Saab Replay has donated £5. Thank you, Saab Replay. Andy, you are too kind. You are far too good to us. Thank you. You've got to make sure as well that you get the vintage Mar Liberté. They did re-release it under the new thing, so it's got to be... Thank you, Andy. You are very kind. But the minis are modern. I don't know. The modern ones aren't as good. You've got to get the ones that were... You've got to get the ones that were distributed by Jean Patou. Distributed in the US by Jean Patou. I'm thinking about buying that fucking one for 200. It's glorious. It's fucking glorious, like. It's an absolutely stunning perfume. If you like lavender and you like vintage fragrances, you're not going to do much better than Mar Liberté, to be honest. But I blind bought mine, didn't I? Like a twit. And it's the eau de toilette. You want the eau de toilette, not the eau de parfum. You want the eau de toilette, not the eau de parfum. The eau de parfum is available, but the eau de toilette's the one. I haven't smelled the eau de parfum, so I will not stand by it. Mar Liberté is BBW. I don't know what that is. I understand the Mizoni on your eBay page saying toilet water is just translation, but I always chuckle, says Mikey. A statue of Mar Liberté. Can you see what fat bitch which one? Mar Liberté is off the charts, outrageous, my friend it is. I'm rocking Vetiver Extraordinaire. I wanted to do Mall Week after the news, says Tim Monson. Yes, it's still shocking, it's still sad, bad, mad. Trying to think of some other words. It's, you know. That's just the way it is. we'll have to wait and see. There's nothing else we can do unless somebody knows Frederick Mulle can get close to him and ask him what the fuck's happening. You know what I mean? Sandra B was actually at a at an event with him when the news broke, and she didn't know. And she didn't know about it until she got out of the event. She was like, hang on a minute, I was with him an hour ago. What the hell are you talking about? And I was like, oh no. Oh no. We had somebody in the room with him and we didn't know. All right, thanks. We'll see if it says that. Wouldn't mind a couple of minis, says Nick. A couple of minis? Have you smelled it? If I can get the problem is I'm going to have to decant this because the fucking sprayer's fucked. It's very temperamental, let's put it like that. I would decant you some of this, but my one says 100ml, distributed in the USA by Jean Patou Inc. So that's the one you want. I don't know if you can see on the bottom there. Alright, take a screenshot if it decides that it wants to fucking focus, but that's what it says. I need a good laugh before these next 3 sessions, Susan. Stick around. Party, do you like Sherwood perfumes? Never tried them, says Party. Me neither. See, Ramsey's been doing them. He's very impressed with them, he was telling us the other day. 36 likes and 63 people, says Dropout, which is a good point. If you would like to like the stream, I would appreciate it greatly and will not hold it against you for doing so. Mal figured out he could just curate Estee Lauder reformulations instead of releasing crap like Uncut Gem. Well, do you know what it is? I think that was part of his contractual, or part of the thing that would get him released, or just end stage. Because of the timing of it, I kind of feel like that was part of the deal for him to get out. And I certainly want to believe that. I want to believe that the stuff he's released in the last couple of years, like Acne Studios, like Uncut Gem, has just been because Estee Lauder have been pushing him in that direction, and it wasn't something necessarily out of choice, you know? So... that's what I want to believe. And I think I do believe it. Estee Curator. Does anyone know if Timbuktu Modern Bottle was reformulated, or is it good still? I haven't smelled the modern one. Not for a while, anyway. Do you find that means I am not the customer selling to Europeans and Americans, says Proudy. Oh yeah, I've had loads of samples of the vintage EDT, rich, lovely, but I wouldn't want a larger bottle, bit too rich for me. Well, I am rich, Mitch, so it's perfect for me. Life is good, welcome Brandon. Good life is Pierre Baudin's perfume. Horace, I'll send you a selfie. Is that for a good laugh? Hosh. But I prefer to get stuff like that when in India, says Proudy. Brian says, have you seen Mal? Yes. Have you seen Mal re-releasing a limited edition Musgrave Azure in collab with K-pop stars this month? That is a pure sales marketing drive. That might be the type of shit that's pushed him over the edge. That's not very Frederick Mulle, is it? You know? So I think that's a marketing thing, because the K-pop thing, the fans are absolutely fucking insane. They're like Taylor Swift fans. They'll do whatever their fucking overlord fucking even hints at them doing, you know? So, oops. So... It's not ideal. I have seen that they're doing that, yeah, though. I like Good Life. Nice for casual summer occasions. Yeah, I think if you were, it's one of those fragrances like Polo Sport for me. If you were young and having a good time when you were wearing it, you're gonna like it. You know. Is it a life-changing fragrance? No. Is it a good fragrance? No. But the prices it goes for now are absolutely fucking obscene. Absolutely obscene. Welcome, Jonathan. How are you? Whoops. Brandoni. This is the height of Frederick Mulle as a brand. Their peak, their K-pop collab and Acne Studio. Best ever. I would say that maybe like Andy Tower, did Frederick Mulle peak too early? Portrait of a Lady Musk Ravageur French Lover and Fleur de Cassis Parfum de Thérèse. All of that stuff, you know. Did the peak too early? Andy Tower feels like it. Like, I don't want to write them off forever, but Andy Tower felt like he peaked really early with Led to Desert Marrakein, Lone Star Memories. I don't get the Taylor Swift thing, except she is business savvy and monetizing the shit out of everything. Yep, I don't think it's her that's business savvy. I think she's got no. She's a brand. She's a system. You know. I don't get the Taylor Swift thing either. She's got a team of people writing songs for her as well. She is making money hand over fist, and so are the record company and her marketing agency and all of them people. You know, she's gonna have to. I think she's 34, 35 now. She's gonna have to make a decision about what she wants to do with her life and stuff, such as the way for women. You know, does she want kids? Does she want to keep monetizing her love life? Does she want these things? Does she want a family? Does she not want a family? You know? Decisions. Fantastic and doing really well, says Jonathan. I just ranked my top 50 out of my collection again, and Marla's the only one with 4 entries, says Brian. What were the 4 entries? But my hopes for the future are grim. Yeah, I'm really not looking forward to the shit that they're going to be releasing after he's gone. Frederick Mulle and K-pop, we are doomed, says Tim Monson. Yes, we are living in a world of shit. Nick says, blew their loads too early. Ew. Ali Tower, Swiss Indie Power. Only thing I know about Taylor Swift are the fans are super crazy. Yeah, it's hive stuff. It's really weird. Jonathan is wearing Gucci Pour on 1. It's true, he told me earlier. Chanel peaked early with number 5, says Spaced Out. That's not a bad call, actually, you know. That is not a bad shout whatsoever. The thing is that they've released like lots of other really, really high-end fragrances, but did they reach their high water mark with number 5? That is a very, very, very good point. Taylor Swift wrote her own songs, just ask Damon Albarn. I had to make these same choices just like Taylor. Yes, such as the way for women. And men, to be fair. Some men are like that. Some men decide not to have families, but it's much more acute for women, isn't it? You know what I mean? There's a clock ticking. Whereas it's not as urgent for men. just nature, isn't it? If we are going that way, then everything peaked too early, says Brody. I don't know. No, I'm not even a Chanel sheep, says James. Come on, what about Egoist, Pour Monsieur Cristal and number 19? Yes, but they're not as good as number 5. They weren't they weren't what number 5 is, was, and has become. You know? I'm not, they have, like I said, they have released many classics since number 5, but number 5 is still their masterpiece. If one house can have a masterpiece, if one house can have one masterpiece, right? If one house can have one masterpiece, and not every house has one, then Chanel peaked at number 5. Chanel's masterpiece was number 5. That's not to say that, Aventus. Antaeus is probably my favourite Chanel. Egoist, Pour Monsieur, I prefer all of them. There are loads of Chanel perfumes that I love more than number 5, but you can't say any of them are even remotely within touching distance of number 5. Number 5 is one of those perfumes that even if you don't like number 5, you know what it is. You go up to somebody and say, do you know what Antaeus is? And they'll just be like, who the fuck are you? Get away from us. Do you know what I mean? Number 5 is a cultural icon. Brands dream of a fucking fragrance like that. It's like, it's... One sold every minute or something. Wasn't it every second? It might be every minute. But I thought it was every second or something like that. Welcome, Kid Kentucky. Egoist, my scent of the day, and I love it. Absolutely, it's fantastic. Nothing is what number 5 was. That's a good point as well. It's the most favourite fragrance. Yeah, it is the most famous fragrance ever. It really is. Has anyone smelled Red Moscow, the Russian fragrance that was the near sibling of number 5? No, but it's true. Ernst Beau was the court perfumer and had to bail because of the revolution, didn't he? And he went and back to France, and Chanel got a hold of him. As she got a hold of many Russian things over the course of her life, bless her. And watch that concept, Rich. And watch that concept, Rich, going up to people on the street asking, do you know what Antaeus is? I'm a big man, and I look intimidating. I would not do that to people. Where did Dior peak? Fahrenheit. Or one of the female ones. But if you say what's the most famous, Sauvage, as much as I hate to say it, not Eau Sauvage either. I hate it. It's not their best fragrance by any. I would say Fahrenheit's probably their best fragrance. But then I'm not as familiar with the Dior, Miss Dior. Yeah, the OG Miss Dior, says Brian. It's a good point. Dior Homme 2005. See, it never cut through. Like, see, that is it. There are none of the Dior fragrances that ever cut through like what number 5 cut through. Not even remotely close. See, I'm not a fan of Egoist, but it's an incredible composition, says Nick. Absolutely. Blue is peaking, Rich. Hopefully it's fucking peaked and it's over. Like, I think we're into the next thing, the mineralic, the Ganymede. We're into the Ganymede age. That's what it feels like, that mineralic, metallic kind of thing. That feels like where we're going at the minute. Amber woods as well. It certainly feels like where we're going. I'd watch that concert, Rich. Do you even know Egoist, sir? This is a Wendy's. Recently got a vintage bottle of Egoist from my father, says Tim Onson. Couldn't be more happy. Pretty fucking fabulous. I've got a few, and I'm getting a bottle of Bois Noir, a partial. I'm wanting to buy some special cigars called Delectados by Diaz Cabrera. Can you get these, Brandon? I want to be like James Bond smoking cigars, says Lane. Is that Youth Dew on the left? No. Which one? This one. This is Mode Creation Munchen's Success. Success. A perfumer on base notes broke down vintage Egoist ingredients, and the stuff in there was madness, just exceptional materials, says Nick. Dior Homme Intense is still crazy popular release. Yes. Jules is probably my favourite Dior masculine, says Nick. Yeah, I love Jules. Jules is amazing. For me, Egoist is a masterpiece, terribly underrated in conversation with other classics, absolutely. Dior Homme 2005 is a niche release in the true sense of the word. It has a niche cult following, says Spaced Out. Fahrenheit Absolute and Eau Sauvage Parfum 2012 years were great. Metallic is not for me, says Germs. Dior Homme 2005 is a Chanel. Before Chanel started making everything about Iris, yes. Absolutely. Chanel were planting iris fields when Olivia Polge was making Dior Homme. I don't know how much real iris is in Dior Homme. It doesn't really matter because it smells immense. Hey, Ganymede and all the Marc Anton Wah Wah fragrances all smell the same, says, yeah, I really don't like them, like. Germs, but Metallica was for me. Yes, I can, Lane. Awesome, there you go. No, it's not Chanel, it's Heidi Slimane. Dior Homme is too colourful and interesting for a Chanel. Chanel doesn't own iris as a note. No, but they have made it like almost central to the modern perfume, to their modern perfume identity, you know. Christopher Sheldrake, when he became master of ingredients, obviously made a decision, him and Jacques Polge, that they were going down the fat iris route, and that is what they did. You can smell that mid-2000s onwards that Christopher Sheldrake had a massive influence at Chanel. Jacques Polge may have made them in the style of Chanel, but he was definitely making he was defining the palette, whereas Polge was defining the perfume, if that makes sense. I'm not sure it does, but I'm sure you'll find a way to work it out in your mind. We're on the road to nowhere. What do we have? Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Welcome, Scent Reaper. I'll be going. Bye, everyone. Have a great night. Goodbye, Tim Onson. Thank you for joining us. Medications pour homme, yes. They may be shy, but it would be cool to have them. But Bois Noir is probably the coolest thing you can get. The smell. Turn 4 lifestyle. Bio Noir. Ganymede is vile, isn't it? Yes. Yes. Ganymede is not the best thing released in the past decade, Brian. You rascal. It's awful. It smells like a fucking chemical factory accident. Chernobyl porom. Oh, this MCM success is going down very well with me at the minute. It's got like wings on the bottom. Oh, excuse me. What a long day I have had. Brian, respectfully false, says James. I'd say the best thing in my collection is a Riesler Doris Forbidden Flower. Aha! That reminds me, Alan Hansen is selling his classics collection of a Riesler D'Or. Let me tell you what is in it. Where is it? So the ALD Classics, Chinese Oud 2, Ottoman Empire 4, Russian Oud 2, Siberian Musk 3, and Walimar 2. And I think he wants $2.5 grand for it. So if you are interested in Oud, and this might be the wrong place, but if you are interested in Oud, let me know and I will tell him. I'd say the best thing in my the best thing in my collection is a Riesler Doris Forbidden Flower. Brandon is taking a shit. Best release since 2013 is Tobacco Oud, says Scent Reaper. It's... There's a couple of Les and Demodarbas that may disagree with that. But I really love Tobacco Oud. I just love it. Like, I'm not saying it's the best fragrance or anything like that, but I just love it. Does he have history of Cambodian oud? Don't think so. Oh my god, I have diarrhea. Science Bear. Walimar is the only one I don't have, been on my list for some time. I don't know if he's selling them separately or selling them as a list, as a collection. So I don't know what he's thinking. But if you can find Alan Hansen, or if you want me to get in touch with him for you, let me know, and I shall do. And we shall see. I got a first formulation Zara again, and for some reason I prefer the later one now. More heft in the dry down. Really surprised myself. See his neck. Success by Mode Creation Munchen. I don't know which version of Tsar I've got, to be honest. I just know it's a green bastard. Oh. I don't know. My feet are cold. It's cold here tonight. I don't like it. I wish it was warm. But it's not. Man's coming to look at the boiler tomorrow, so that will be fun. Seeing them, Rich. Yours are early ones, what most people prefer, I see. Man's not hot. Man is not hot. Man's cold. Man's Baltic. I wonder what I'll wear tomorrow, depending on what the weather's like. I'm dying to wear girl on. I'm dying to wear this vetiver, but I don't know. Maybe I won't be able to. We will have to see. Anyway. And that is it, my friends. Howdy, Duncan. Well, that is it for me today. I am tired. I am cold. And I am going. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Thank you to Andy for donating via coffee. And I will see you all again soon, friends. Good night.